Say, like, when has that ever not been the case, right, D? No, y'all know this morning has just been crazy. Okay, so this is our weekly. We're talking about setting up your niche recruitment and staffing business. That is the conversation that we are having today. And I'm really excited because over the last 2 weeks, we've had an opportunity to help people really set up their staffing business and set it up the right way with a vision, a purpose, a mission, and not just like words that you hear to fill in on a business plan, which is a lot of times why we're doing specific things. Oh, I want to get money, so let me go. They told me to do this on the business plan. So I went ahead and I did it on the business plan, but it wasn't something that was really real to me, right? But when you start hiring and you start having experiences and you start to understand that people do business with people they like, know, and trust, you realize that those things actually do matter. They actually are super important to the foundation of your business. And that is, a lot of the building that we did over the course of the last 2 weeks. In addition, we also started automation. We actually helped people launch their automation. Everyone who attended should have. I know everyone in the Dallas class did, but in the DC class, I think we had a few hiccups with the technology. But everyone should have launched their their automation, and either it was a client automation or a candidate automation, or both. Some people launched both, but there was at least one automation that went out, and they all went out on a Friday, which means that Monday for my LA class, activity should start happening where people should start responding back to your appointments. Whereas if my people who were in the Dallas class, they should have already started receiving, conversations within their automation. And if not, then we may want to go back and double check and see if we want to change the wording of the automation or whatever the case may be. But I'm really excited to see people actually complete things, because you can go to a workshop and you get all this learning, but you don't actually put things into play. It was really, really, really important to me that everybody put things into play. And so y'all know I'm fired up. So I got to tell you something before we get started. Okay, so we were talking about going to DC. I want to go to DC. I want to just make sure that's very, very clear. Hi to everybody that's online. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Nelly. I want to go to DC, but only 2 people bought DC tickets. Okay, I thought it was 3, but it was actually only 2. So there are only 2 DC tickets. I want to DC for 2 people, even though I love the 2 people who bought their ticket. I'm not going to DC for that. So y'all have to buy tickets for DC over the next couple of weeks, or DC will not exist. Period. Okay, or DC will not exist. And I know y'all want DC to exist, so y'all got to buy some tickets. So those tickets will go on sale today if y'all reach out to my team. I don't know if they're on sale online, but today, if you reach out to the team, they are on sale, and you can go out there and feel free to get your DC ticket. If you want DC to be real, you got to get a ticket. If you want DC to be real, you got to get a ticket. Okay, so that's another thing that's very, very, very important. Are y'all ready to dive in? Do we have any questions? So first, I hope everybody acknowledged themselves when you came in. I hope that you spoke. You all know that when we come into this class every week, it's like, hello, as if we're all in the same building. So please greet yourself. I want to say what's up to my replayers and everybody who's watching live. You are in the Staffingpreneurs Academy live setup class. As of now, we are still going to DC. So I'm going to move as if we are. We're going live until the last live launch, land, and leverage workshop day, which is in the second week of September. So let me just see. Hey, Dr. Rice. Shanita. Oh, okay. Yes, Dr. Rice. Okay.
Yes, I had to change it because, yes, you know why.
Yes, I do. But it took me off guard for a second. But I love it. I'm all in. I agree with sister and you. I'm all in. Dr. Rice is in the house. Nakat, amazing morning. Who else is here? Nita's in the house. I already said her. Pat's in the house. Yvonne's in the house. Davita's in the house. Brandon's in the house. Alfredo's in the house. Everybody's in the house. I love that. I don't see Dr. Castle, though. She might be online watching on YouTube. I think I saw Nelly on YouTube and some other comments. Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing comments here. We have a question coming in from the class, and I want to go ahead and get that question asked. Okay. D, I have a question about Dripify and the automation. Should I wait till the running class? Yes. And matter of fact, let me get this off the screen now. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 and yes, and yes, and yes. To the running class. That is the class that we talk about that. But I'm excited because that means that something is happening or not happening. Something is either happening or not happening. And all things are good. You said happening?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey. You know I love to hear that now. Don't get me excited over here. Okay. I like that. Okay, so that's awesome. And it's great. Let me just join by phone. Join audio, stay co-host, share screen, entire screen. Okay. So that's awesome. Any other like life-threatening questions? Life-threatening. Any other questions that felt like absolutely have? Hey, Barbara. It's okay if it's been a while. Long as you're here, that's all that matters. As long as you're here, that's all that matters. And I'm thankful you're here. What's up? I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see everything that my class is seeing. Okay, perfect. And then they can see everything that I'm seeing. Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. Now I can have some fun. All right. Y'all know we do our weekly reminders. And I got to ask a question. Like, are y'all actually, as y'all are building your staffing business, are y'all actually going through your reminders? Are y'all keeping the reminders in mind? Is the repetition enough to drive you crazy enough that you are like, okay, now I'm doing this. I understand a little bit differently. I understand. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. I was just thinking about you. I hope you come to class this week. Listen, I hope you come to class this week. I want to see you. Okay. I was there, not last week, not Thursday, but the one week before. And I was definitely looking for you. Okay. So I want you to remember these things because I feel like even though I'm reminding y'all every week, y'all are not remembering. I'm watching you. Okay. And it's really, really, really important that you keep these things in mind because they'll help you really bring your business to life. You know what I'm saying? In a way that you really want to bring your business to life. So some things I want you to remember as you're starting your agency. And hopefully as we're going through this, some questions will come about. Please put your questions in a box. Feel free to come onto the line and ask your questions openly. I'm totally cool with that. As long as it's in regards to setting up your staffing business, I'm all in. Okay. So I want you to make sure that you understand that your secret sauce, and I just kind of went through this with the LA class in great detail. Your secret sauce is ultimately, she's writing appropriately, is ultimately how you are recruiting in your business. Okay. Your secret sauce is ultimately how you're recruiting in your business, like your style, your way. I won't go into all the details, but I'm going to just put it out there like that. Your secret sauce is your method to how you're going to recruit in your business, these specific groups of people. And so if that's your secret sauce, you should be creating some type of method where your candidates are not just a fit technically, but your candidates are also a fit in a cultural type of way or in a functional type of way, right? That your candidate is a fit in more than one way, and in soft skills, right? Or whatever, some type of something, right? Some way other than they can do the job. Because a lot of people can do the job, but once people get into the job, if they're unable to fit into the culture that you've created for your business, then it's going to ultimately lead to disruption in your company. You're not going to be able to do things appropriately for you internally as well as for the client. So it's very important that when you're placing your candidates that you understand that it's not just about a technical fit. It goes far beyond just the technical. And if you can figure that out or decide what you want that to be for you and your company, then you'll understand that teams aren't just about what they do physically or mentally, but it's also about who they are as an individual. I encourage you to just do a search. You can use AI or you can use the internet and just say, what is the culture code? And that list 5 of your top companies. And you'll see that culture is everything to these large companies, the companies that are spending billions of dollars out here to create culture, and they're hiring based on culture. They're not hiring based on fit. They're hiring based on culture. So what is your agency going to do differently, right? How is your agency going to show that this is how we place sales reps? This is how we place nurses. This is how we place software developers. This is our style. And we found that this style is what is successful, which is why we have this large group of salespeople, which means you can come to us because now we can provide speed, we can provide, quality, right? We can provide all of these things all because of this system, this way that we have created for our style of staffing, okay? And that's one of the things that we went through in great detail in both the LA and the Dallas workshop, really being able to understand what it is that you offer, what sets you apart, what your differentiator is, right? And how to deliver that differentiator, which is very important. I want you to remember that you are not, nor should you place everyone that you talk to, meet, or interview. It is often that I get comments where people say to me, Dee, I haven't started my staffing business yet because I have so many people who are reaching out to me for jobs, but I don't have any jobs. Or they'll say, I'm afraid to start calling people because I don't have any jobs. But you need people. You need people as your product so that you can go and get jobs, right? Because really you're going to somebody saying, I can find you people. Believe me. No, trust me. I can find you people. No, I don't have anybody, but I can definitely find you people. And I can find you people. You sign this contract with me today while you're on the phone with me and promise me that you're going to pay me and I'll find you people. That's essentially what you're expecting to happen. And it doesn't work that way. It's cute, but it doesn't work that way. So put that right there, okay? I want you to understand that your candidates are your capital. And we're really about to go into this, but your candidates are your capital, okay? So you're not supposed to place everyone that you meet. Your job is to create a network, to physically be able to say, I know Jan, John, James, Jim, Jake. I'm just naming J names. Felicia, Tanisha, Chastity, whoever you want to say, Blake. I know all of these people, and all of these people are nurses. All of these people are salespeople. All of these people are developers. One works here, one works there, one does this, one does that. And are you going to remember everybody? No, that's why you have your applicant tracking system. But when you come across them, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I talked to him about such and such and such, right? Because you talk to a whole bunch of people and you started building these relationships. When someone says that to me, like that they can't talk to someone because they don't have any contracts, they only have candidates, that lets me know that they don't really understand their business and what they offer, because we're a people business. We are supposed to be offering people. If we haven't talked to anyone, and I don't mean 5 people. Some people say, yeah, I talked to people. I talked about 5 people. No, that's not enough. Or 50 people. That's not enough. 500 people is not enough if you really think about it, right? You should be literally building your pipeline, building your network. Every time you talk to someone, getting notes into the system, tagging them appropriately, putting them in lists so that when opportunities come along, you can find them easily. And what type of opportunities are going to come along? You're going to get referrals. You're going to get other candidate referrals. You're going to get client referrals. You're going to get opportunity to introduce candidates to each other. You're going to get the opportunity where they're going to tell you where to go to get the job. Some of them are going to give you the job. You're going to get leads from your candidates, right? It's like so many different things that are going to happen as you're growing your business, but it all starts with the activity of you talking to your candidates every day. You have to talk to your candidates every day. You got to be talking to candidates. You got to talk to new candidates, and you got to follow up with older candidates or candidates you've already spoken to. You got to do that every day, like non-negotiable. And if you're just starting this business, you don't get any days off, non-negotiable. The audacity of you to think you get a day off when you're trying to do this? No way. You should be on at least putting in 2 or 3 hours every day around your business. How else are you to evolve? How else are you to expand? How else are you to get to the next level if you're not putting the work in to make it happen? That's very important. Otherwise, you stay stagnant. You stay right where you are, talking the same talk. I'm going to do and never do. This is what you do. Okay. So when you get started with this business, you want to start on the phone, talking to candidates, getting to know them, getting them in your applicant tracking system, engaging with them, putting the reminders on the calendar, following up with them. Okay. Very, very important. And when you talk to people and they say, do you have any jobs right now? You say, well, hold on. Let's talk first. Let me get you on the calendar so we can sit down and talk a little bit about where you are, what you're looking for. If they're not willing to do that with you, that's not the candidate that you want to work with. You're looking for specific people. You're looking for specific, a vibe, about the people that you want to place into an employer organization. Everybody is not a good fit. And maybe right now is not the right time for that candidate. Maybe you call them back when they calm down a little bit. But your job is to get to know people, maybe counter the conversation and keep the conversation going if you feel like they're valuable in what you see. But you want to engage with people who you want to actually place. And so your job is to know people and to gather intel so that you can help connect, make the dots between people and employment matches. That is your job. That is what you do. Okay. Now, please put your questions in. Okay. I want you to add your questions. Hold on. I'm going to put that right there. Perfect. I want you to have your questions there. Okay. You need a theme for your staffing agency. Okay. It's going to be employer based, but your candidate still should support it. You need a theme for your staffing agency. And when I say a theme, a lot of y'all, many of you have the wrong impression of what I mean by a theme. And when I say a theme, I mean you need something that connects with employers beyond your services, right? Something that you are creating in the industry to leave your footprint, something that you're an advocate about. Right? Because it's not just about your services. Even though that is the outcome of everything, it's not just about your services. It is also about what impact you're bringing to the industry. How are you creating impact in the industry? It's much easier to have that type of conversation with someone and build a relationship so that you can get the business versus picking up the phone, calling somebody and harassing them all day with your telemarketing skills that you have not sharpened in real life. That was mean, but it was true. So it's like you really, really have to have a little bit more going into this sales game than just selling your services, or you're going to get 10 times more no's and hangups than yeses. If you're comfortable with that, you can definitely do that. Hands in the air. I say go after it. It still works, but there are other ways to also do that where you're actually creating a relationship versus you just literally just going after the business, because people want to do business with people they like and know and trust. Think about where a lot of the business deals are made. They're made on a golf course. They're made in a strip club. You know what I'm saying? They're made in different in places where not necessarily over the phone or in the office, right? They're made in a place where people are comfortable, on a yacht or in a restaurant, where people in a comfort zone where they feel like they have some type of relationship, some type of commonality, something that connects them. They share the same vision, the same mission, the same goals, right? That's very, very important. And a lot of people starting a staffing business or any business, they tend to forget that it requires a relationship building process, especially when you're talking about high dollar tickets. Now, if you're talking about selling a $17 ebook, okay, whatever. Maybe even a $900 course. You may not need a relationship for that, but I can tell you honestly, some of y'all, some of these people that's watching me now, some of y'all been dating me for years and have dated me for years before you actually purchased my product, right? It took you time to get to know me, to see that I'm consistent. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a safe space. Somebody, I think Barbara was like, it's been a while, but I'm back. How does she know that she can even come back? Because she's still here. You understand what I'm saying? So she's built a relationship. We built a relationship. A relationship has been built. You can do the same thing, and you don't have to do it in the way that I'm doing it here. That's what we show you in Staffingpreneurs Academy. That's what we show you at the live workshop, how you can go out and build those relationships authentically. But this business is a relationship business. And if you're not prepared to build a relationship, you're going to miss out on the opportunity of actually achieving your goal in the way that you see it in your mind, the way your future self has positioned it or shown you. Hello. Yes. I know y'all feel that energy. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So very, very, very important. All right. You need a theme. 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 Okay. Your candidates are your capital, not your clients. Okay. I know you want to love on your clients so much, and I do want you to love on the employers because they absolutely need you, and we need them in order for commerce to happen and for these jobs to be created. We need all of that. I get it. But your clients only really do two things. It's not, they will refer at times, this is true, but they pay the bill, and then sometimes they'll become your candidate. But your candidates are really your capital. That's where you find the value. The more candidates you have, the more valuable you are, the more valuable your staffing business is. Okay. The more candidates you have, the more followers, the more value you have. Okay. So your candidates are your capital. Your candidates are your capital because they're worth money. You can place them. When you put them into a job, you place them. Whether it's the one-time fee or whether you get a residual off of that candidate every week, you place that candidate. That makes them valuable. Not only that, you could offer training classes that they will buy immediately. Or you could sell t-shirts or mugs or uniforms. It's a whole lot. But you candidates right there, right in itself, that makes them valuable. Okay. If a candidate is currently interviewing in the marketplace, they're an active interviewer, right? They can tell you who's hiring. They can tell you what's happening in the company where they're currently working at on the client side, like employers who's like think about it, who's moving into different positions, who got fired, who got hired, who should you connect with. They can tell you the same thing on the candidate side, right? They can give you intel. They can give you referrals. So like, they become really, really, really valuable if they're currently interviewing right now. They can really tell you. And I want one more thing I want to mention. Like if a candidate is currently interviewing out there, they're not going to take every job they interview for. And so there's a whole lot of roles that are like available for them to talk to you about. If you don't mention it to them, if you don't say to them like, hey, the roles that you didn't like or the roles you didn't get, can you tell me a little bit about them? If you refer and we get the role, we place somebody, we'll give you a referral fee. Like you got to start thinking outside of the box in order to get your network to work on your behalf, because your network will work on your behalf. If you're a good person, if you're treating people right, you're being upstanding and ethical, your network will work for you. If you're building the right relationships with those candidates and you're not just utilizing them for a placement, like you're genuinely building a good relationship with them, your network will work for you. If you don't say anything, though, they're not going to do it. If you don't say anything, they're not going to do it. But if you say something, they will. Okay. So your candidates are your capital. They can give you leads in the company they're currently at or where they were in the past. Your candidates are your capital. They get promoted and become clients. Your candidates get promoted and become clients every day. They become exactly who you want to do business with. Are you staying in contact with them? Are you following up with them? You should I still follow up with candidates from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That we go online, what you been up to, what's been going on. We still connect because people do business with people they like and know and trust. Period. Okay. Now, when you start to launch, so you should be getting prepared for your launch at this point. You're setting up to get prepared for your launch. I want you to have a minimum of 50 candidates in your ATS by the day that you launch. And when I say a minimum, I don't mean 50. If you only have 50 in your ATS, you're on some mediocre loser status type-ish. I said it. I want that to burn because I want you to do better. 50 is the bare minimum with your access to data, right? Because in order to grow this business, and especially if you're going through my setup course, I show you where to go and get leads. You need email addresses and phone numbers to connect with LinkedIn appropriately, right? I'm going backwards here. To connect with people on LinkedIn appropriately. You know the majority of your business, whether or not you're finding your people on LinkedIn or through job boards. If you're in the healthcare space, you know the nurses aren't applying for jobs like that. You got to go out and find the nurse, right? So where do you go? How are you going in and getting your people? You need minimum of 50 candidates because I see people with literally 50 candidates and I'm like, what are they trying to build? You need 500, 5,000, 50,000, as many candidates that you can get into your ATS with a phone number and an email address and preferably a LinkedIn profile. That's what you're going for. 50 is your bare minimum. If you start and I say how many candidates you got, you're going to say 50. I might not say nothing out loud, but I'm telling you right now, right here, live on camera. In my mind, I'm going to be like, that's it. That's all they got. There's so much more. You can do so much more. And it's important that you do so much more than 50. And I hope I'm burning some people's feelings right now who actually only put 50 in their ATS, knowing that people do business with people they like and know, knowing that your candidates are your capital, knowing that your candidates are the product that you're selling, knowing that you can have 10,000 job orders. But if you don't have any candidates, those positions will never be filled. But if you've got 10,000 candidates, you can turn those candidates into a job. So 50 is unacceptable. But I put it there at least, come on now, minimum, what you're working with, okay? People do business with people they like and know and trust. And so that means you need to build as many relationships as possible with candidates as you can, as many. I don't mean fake relationships. I mean real relationships. I mean getting on the phone with them. Hey, how you doing? My name is Dee. I'm calling from Identifies Consulting. I'm calling today because I have a role open if you're recruiting in a role. If you're not recruiting in a role, you're calling, hey, my name is Dee. I'm calling from Identifies Consulting. I'm reaching out today to get a little bit of help. Do you know anyone in your network that might have an interest in or might be right? So then you're going to go into the role and talk about the role a little bit. Or it may be, that's if they're like, you're calling them at their desk and they're currently working, but it could be, hey, this is Dee. I'm having fun right now. It happened too much fun. Hey, this is Dee. I'm calling from Identifies Consulting. I saw your LinkedIn profile or your resume online, and it looks amazing. I want to know if you have a couple of moments to chat about your career, what you're currently doing now, what you're thinking about doing in the future. I would love to get to know you. I'm a recruiter, by the way. And so you kind of go from there. That's how I do things. But that kind of gives you some insight on where you want to go. But you really want to start with connecting with the person and building a relationship. You're going to have people who are going to manually come on your calendar from your website. You're going to have people that are going to come from your calendar from maybe the way your hiring process is based on the way that they apply. But the thing for you to remember is that you've got to build real relationships. The more you talk to them, the more you get to know them, the easier it's going to be for you to grow your business organically. The less people that you talk to, the harder it's going to be for you to grow your business organically. And I know that you want to definitely grow your business organically. You know, so that's very, 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 very important. Very, very important. Okay. And so I want to just go there with you. Now people do I told you people. All right. You also need employers in your ATS too. That is imperative. You need employers in your ATS. Okay. So by the time that you launch, just like you have a minimum candidates in your ATS, minimum employers in your ATS. So, and again, 50 is the bare minimum. You want to have as many as possible. One of the things that's very important is that you post your pipeline jobs. You want to post the jobs that you're looking to fill internally in your company, and you want to post the jobs that you're looking to fill externally in your company. Both are very, very, very important, okay? A lot of you are thinking, I'm not ready to hire internally. It doesn't matter. You don't want to wait until you are ready to start hiring before you start building relationships. Because just like you're building with relationships with candidates to put in positions with other people, you should be building relationships with candidates to put into your own company, because your own company is just as important as the company that you're placing people in. Very, very important. Remember, the job that you're doing for them is something that you're ultimately building for yourself. You're not building a staffing agency internally for you, like you're not, right? But you are building a company that requires people and requires you to hire and staff those people to run your company, just like you're doing for other people. You're just not setting their business up. Their business is already set up. You're just putting the people in there. I hope that made sense. Okay. So that's very, 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 very important. Extremely important. Okay. There's fortune in the follow-up. Fortune in the follow-up. There's fortune in the follow-up. Okay. The fortune is never in the first phone call. It's in the follow-up. It's never in the first text message. It's never in the first email. It's never in the first social media post. It's never in the first email automation. It's never in the first in-person event. It's never in the first referral. Never in the first podcast, webinar, LinkedIn automation, appointment setter, lead bag, lot. It's never in the first. It's the first is the introduction to you. That is the introduction. Some of you are going to be reintroducing. Some of you are going to be introducing. Some of you are going to be introducing a number of times in order for them to connect with you. But the fortune is never in the first. The first, there is a strategy. You have to have a strategy. You don't launch this business without a strategy on how you're going to reach out to these people. Okay. All right. How you're going to reach out to these people. Now, that's your first strategy. But then your second strategy is the follow-up, because the fortune is in the follow-up. It's not in the first phone call. It's not in the first introduction. It's in the follow-up. So how are you going to follow up with them? A better question is not just how are you going to follow up with them, but what is going to be your follow-up? What is going to be your follow-up type? How are you going to follow up with them, right? What are you going to say to them when you follow up? You're going to talk to them about your theme. You're going to talk to them about your differentiator. You should have created some type of strategic initiative or initiatives for your market around your theme that you can talk about and get them involved in. Whatever marketing and branding strategies that you've created for your company, that should be happening. I said a B, that should be an M. There we go. Any type of awareness you want to bring to the marketplace, the lead magnets that you've created, you want to give them out for free. And generate more, build the relationship even more. Maybe you're giving out gifts, acts of kindness, or maybe you're going live. And finally, at the bare bottom, you see this, like I put this little space in there because I want you to see that's really the last thing you're going to talk about, which is your services. It's the very last thing, because your services is the is the answer to all the things that you're talking about and doing. I hope that made sense. Okay, the fortune is in the follow-up. You've got to produce activity in your company or your company will not work. A lot of people get upset because they say their company won't work, but their company will work. They're just not doing enough activity. They're doing mediocre activity. They're doing I'm afraid activity. They're doing I'm not serious about this business activity. I'm just acting like I'm serious about this business activity. But in order for this business to actually work, in order for the business to actually generate revenue, you 1,000,000,000% have to produce activity or your company will not work. That means you have to make way more than 5 phone calls per day. 5 phone calls a day is not enough, especially if you're just getting started in the business and you're trying to get things off the ground. 15 phone calls per day, not enough, especially if you're trying to get this business off the ground. You've got to set time aside, establish time aside. You've got to put time aside. You've got to put time aside and you got to go ham in your business. Okay. 20 LinkedIn reach outs are not enough a day. Don't call me and talk about the business not working and you only doing 5 to 15 phone calls. You only sending 20 LinkedIn reach outs and 100 emails per day. It's just not enough activity for anything serious to be happening in your business. And if you're serious about things happening in your business, then you will generate way more activity than you see what's on the screen. It's just not enough. I can tell you right off the break, you don't have to purchase any of my services. If it ain't working and you're not producing this minimal level of activity, or you are producing this minimal level of activity, that's why your business ain't working. I can start you off right there, and now you know what to go out and do. Okay? You've got to track your performance activity. Once you start producing the activity, you've got to track it. A great CEO knows their numbers. You've got to track your performance activity. That is imperative. And finally, and then floor is open, you want to hire an internal staff that is amazing, and that should be your number one priority. Your number one priority in this business should be who is going to run this business with me and then for me. Your number one priority should be who is going to run this business with me and then for me, right? It should be how do I create an amazing team? How do I build a phenomenal internal team? What type of culture am I building around that team, right? And how are they? And am I hiring people that are going to take me to actually achieve my vision? Okay, because you definitely need people who are going to help take you to your vision. What are your questions? Those are my reminders. What are your questions? Questions on the table. What y'all got for me? When is the trip to DC? Hey. That's the question. When is the trip to DC? Hey. Any questions about what we discussed today? We can talk about DC in a second, but I just want to make sure y'all starting your business, or you're in the process of setting up your business, launching your business. I see some people who have already launched and they're coming back to home base. So what questions do you have for me? The lines are open. I know you came here for a reason.
Oh, Dee,
Yeah.
Nikki and I, we are trying to, I know we said we was going to launch tomorrow, but we really don't want to launch until we have everything in place. So one thing that we've been looking at is our 100, our top 100. Oh my gosh. Our top 100, we've been looking at them, but it seems like, I know you said like for the first 20 on Indeed, and they should be in a certain category. But most of the companies that we're finding are like really big companies.
No. I didn't say that. Your target 100 are the top 100 companies that you choose. You choose your target 100. I don't want you to, if some people take, how do I say this? Some people take an approach where they do that because it's just easy to do, right? I just type the top 100 companies that I see on some list. I don't suggest that. I suggest that you find 100 companies that you genuinely want to do business with, because these are the people you're trying to marry. And so people do that, like, so, and we, that is always broken down. So you have your 10 giant companies that are publicly owned, 10 giant companies that are privately owned, because the infrastructure and the politics on how you get those contracts are different. You've got, I think, 30 or 40 medium companies, 10 startups. I'm talking to tech startups. They do have healthcare. They do hire nurses. And then you have small companies. I think it was like 20 small companies. So you're
with so many employees, but it seems, that's what I'm saying. It seems like the ones that we're finding, they're all large companies because they have a lot of employees.
But you control that. So like, do you have Sales Navigator?
Yes.
Okay, so you control that. So let me show you. You can just do a search and look for companies.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. You didn't sound excited about that.
No, I don't mind. I just need to. I want to make sure what we're doing it right. I don't want to.
She said, She said, Okay. So like, you going on the Sales Navigator.
Make that screen big.
And then you go in and you find and you figure out what your search is. Like, you can just you create the search. So like, you can do a company search, you can do accounts. So accounts are companies, leads are like candidates, if you want to look at it that way. And so you could search for like, what type of who's your niche market?
Our niche market we're looking for CISOs. So at this moment, but our niche market right now is healthcare, because we're doing everything healthcare.
Okay, so then just look for hospitals. I'm just HOSPITAS. I'm just gonna do like that for a second. Okay, and yes, maybe we should do it from that perspective. You're right. So CISO. So like, you would type that in and then get rid of that because you don't really want it in the keywords in real life. You're gonna go in and put their title in. Let's see. Ooh, excuse me. The why is it not? There we go. Let's open it up. Past company, current job title. Where's he at? Okay, so then you put the title in. So I would do it twice because some people go by the acronym and some go right there. Once you get it in there, then I would preferably do the geography. So you're staying in the United States for now, at least as your starting point, and then you can always expand. And then I would go into the industry that you want to go into. So if it was hospitals and healthcare, there. Now you're there. And you see that they have in the United States at 548. I got to make sure I take this out. Hold on one second, because it didn't take it out. No. I should change that number right now. Oh, it didn't. Okay, but perfect. It's out. So they're saying it's like 548 CISOs, because Chief Information Security Officers in the United States. So now you just have to go through and figure out the size. Right. So you're going to go through and say, okay, only show me companies who have a head count of 200 to 500 or more than 1,000 or 200. And then you can narrow down who your companies are and narrow down. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So on the spreadsheet, you give us like 5 different places to check. Indeed, a site called, is it Jigsaw?
Yeah, but they probably closed now. I think Jigsaw got sold.
Okay.
I think they got sold. I'm almost sure they got sold. They've been they were acquired by, I don't remember who. Jigsaw acquired ACQI, acquired by, I don't know who they got acquired by. That might not be important. Salesforce. So yeah, long time they got acquired. But I mean, they're just giving you a list anywhere that has a database, right? So I'm going to tell you that like Sales Navigator is the new Jigsaw. Let's just say that. Like, that's what that is, because they don't give away data the way they used to give away data. Data is now, you have to pay for it. It's expensive, is what you see here. This would, in my opinion, would be the easiest way for you to find what you're looking for. Now, there are other ways that I listed, like for example, like you could do a Google search, but that's going to be maybe a little bit more out there. But I would say like hospital, then go to news, and then CISO, and to see if any news, if any hospitals have any news around their chief information security officer. Maybe that's who you want to choose, right? If somebody got recently hacked in the medical space and their CISO is in the news, maybe it's not something that's good happened. Maybe something's bad happened. Maybe that's somebody you want to put on your target list. So you can look at it that way. That's just another way you could go and find it. But typically it's any type of database. And today the database is seamless. Today the database is LinkedIn. Today the database is Contact Out, is Lucia, it's all of those plugins that we talk about that are all over my screen, that are Chrome extensions that have leads in them. So any type of database that has contact information, that's where you would go and find this information out. This is a great resource. You also can go to Dun & Bradstreet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I would do it from here. This is where you're doing all your activity.
Mm-hmm.
This is where everything is going. This is where your Dripify is connected to. Like, this is where they already have profiles on here. And you can see when new people are coming on for the most part every day, because if you save the search, every day you go back to the search, that you can go back to your saved searches. So you can go to your saved searches. Whenever you go to your saved searches, they tell you how many new people have joined since you created that search.
Okay.
And then you grab them up as soon as they come in. But this would, in my opinion, should be your world. Don't go and look outside of LinkedIn when I've given you all the tools and resources that you need right here in the heart of it,
Okay, we were just following the instructions that you had on the Excel spreadsheet. So that's why I was trying to.
That's why you got the class. That's what class is for.
Yes. Thank you.
That's perfect. And that was good. I hope that was helpful. I see a lot of questions coming in. Hold on. Let me just say. How can I get review, please? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Whittling. I have a Woodition. What? I don't know what that means, Whittling. How you feeling this morning? Nakat D, if I get more than 100 companies, then what should be the criteria to streamline or to shortlist? I think I kind of just answered it, right? The 100 companies are your target list. Everybody else is like your generalist list. That's what you're sending your email automations out to. That's what you're sending your LinkedIn automations to. You're throwing the net out to all of those people. You can't build. It's harder to build a relationship with 10 million people than it is to narrow it down to 100 people, right? So you're casting the net out there, building a relationship in a different type of way. That's marketing automation going on there, following up with them from there. But here, what you're doing every day, focusing on your target list, while those people are coming into you, you're focusing on these 100 specific companies, right? You're focusing on getting in the door with them, reaching out to them, getting intel from people who worked for them before, who's working for them now, who's moving where, who's doing what, all of that good stuff. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So essentially, you're shortlisting your referrals, people that are referring people to you, people who are coming in onto your lists, your emailing list, people who are booking appointments on your calendar, your target 100. And then your automation should be doing all of the other work for you. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Whittaline, was you saying something?
Hi, Dee.
Hi, Pooh. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I've been going back to work at night, so that's why I can't keep up. But
where's your husband? Where your husband been? He ain't been on no calls. I ain't seen him.
I know. I told him to come in, but he's
not getting off the hook.
No, and I've been going to places, to companies, nursing home. We have good conversation with the executive directors. So, and I've been going to events. And I think we're on a pretty good track, understanding and then, trying to make contacts and things like that. And right now I need to know how can I get a review, because the company that we are right now, they're asking me to send a link for review. I don't even know where to get that.
A review of what?
For the business, for the, our company to give us review.
Oh, you want us to give you a review?
No, they want to give me a review.
Oh, so you want to, okay. So what are you asking?
They're asking me to send them the link. I don't know where is that.
I don't know where that is either.
You don't know?
Do you have a link for that?
No, I don't know. I don't know. How you give people a review? How you...
Are they asking for a Google review so they can put you down,
Right.
Review you in Google?
Is it a Google review or a Yelp review?
Probably. I don't know.
What did you ask for clarification?
Yeah, I asked the administrator that's there. She's new. She said they want to give our business a review because we've been sending nurses and things like that.
That's amazing.
But I don't know how to. I don't know. They keep asking us for the link. I don't even know how to.
Give them your Google so that it goes into Google and the whole world can see it.
Google?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell them Google, or
there's different types of review platforms. What review platform do you want to utilize? I think you have to ask yourself that question first.
I want to Google. I think
because they can do Yelp reviews, they could be Google reviews. There are different types of review platforms. They can do a review on LinkedIn. Where do you want them to do the reviews? What's going to be your review platform of choice? Do you need to take some time to figure that out before you do that?
Okay, because I don't know, because they keep asking us. I don't know how. I don't have an idea, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not. Okay, hold on. Did you Google reviews?
I tried, but it doesn't give me what I need because it's probably a Google review, something like that. That you know what I mean, at first, but
I mean, you have your Google My Business profile, so I'm sure they can leave a review on Google for you, right? You already have a Google My Business profile, so you just their Google custom, yeah. So I think you just go. I'm not sure, but I think you just make sure. Maybe it's at the Better Business Bureau. Maybe you get your reviews there. I don't know. Look, add, delete. There it is. Maybe this Google Help. Add, edit, or delete Google Maps reviews or ratings. So get Google reviews, Google Business Profile Help. I think that's where you really want to start.
Okay. All right.
I put it in the chat for you.
Okay.
But they also have other reviews. I know Yelp has reviews. The Better Business has reviews. They have a lot of places because Yelp does more than just restaurant, dentists, and stuff like that. So it's like they do more than just restaurants. They do. So there's a lot of places that you can get the review. You want people, where you want people to find you at.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right.
But that's great that they want to review you. That means that they're very happy with you. Do you agree?
They are. They're calling me. There's a nurse that usually pick up for them. They're calling me, requesting her. And I sent them. They have very good staff that I have that's good for them, which they are very happy.
I love that. I love hearing about your success. Keep going, keep pushing, keep moving forward. You got this. You already know you got this. You already know you got it.
I feel like I got it. I feel like I have a great knowledge about it.
Okay, perfect. You feel like the program was helpful?
Oh, too much. It's very helpful. I feel so confident. Like the other day, like in a weekly basis, I try to go to 5 nursing home. we've been to last week. I went to 5. I had a great conversation, like a long conversation with the executive director, like talking about things that we can do and things. It was very, very happy.
I love that. That's exciting. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Make sure you tell your husband congratulations. I'm proud of him as well. I know he's over there working his butt off. I don't want him to think that his work is not, his efforts are being done. So I gotta ask a quick question though. So do you feel like at this point you found a rhythm to going inside the facilities?
I do. I go to facilities. I go to events. And there's some event that I go to, like where they're asking. I pretty much like to go to an event where they add me now to the event where a lot of people come in, like company looking for nurses, CNAs. There's some I've been talking to them, and they send me places. But right now, the problem I have is because I'm working nights now, and I pretty much don't have much time like I used to have, like like to follow up like I used to. I supposed to. That's my little problem right now. But other than that, it's I feel so confident going places and talking to people, to director of nursing, talking to the executive director. So I'm very happy.
Okay, but now the fortune is in the follow-up and not in the first introduction.
I know. I've been calling. Like I took some time this morning to call. I called.
Okay.
And I'm follow up and things like that. There's a place that I'm trying to get more to expand. I went there and they told me, well, we have other nurse company that we're working, but they say they cannot give us staff. And since you guys are small company, like we have staff that is, like available. Like I have some people keep calling me, do you have any more hours or the places and things like that? So I've been talking to them, trying to expand.
Okay. I love that. Well, if you get a chance, make sure you come into the Run It class. I got something to share with you when you do.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate you. Any other questions today? I'm answering any other questions. What? Tell me.
No, that's pretty much that one because they want to give us review. They keep asking, sending the link where to do this. I don't even know. I don't have any idea where to go from that.
Yeah.
With that, so I said, let me ask you how to get that done.
Yeah. You just want to choose whatever platform you want it to be your core platform where you have your reviews, and then give them the link for that, and that way all of them will stay there. And I think the Google attached to your Google profile is the best.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Let me see here. I'm going to go online and answer some questions here. And 10 big companies. Yes. I think you're supposed to be on this call though. I'm in Washington and I'm interested in starting my staffing agency. How can I get started? In Washington State or Washington, D.C.? It's good to know. Somebody said Google reviews. Hey, sister, how you feeling? I think they're asking for a business info so they can review on Google. She has. There, she just don't know how to use it, I think. So everybody's online telling you they're talking about your review page. The question is not clear. I love how everybody was engaging. I love this. This is so cool. The fact that she's not seeing it. Okay, perfect. All right. And kindness, I just witnessed an answer. That was so cool. I love just kind of going through the background, going through that. You're in Washington State. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, it's great that you want to start a staffing business. First things first. I mean, first step is got a name, got an idea of a vision of where you want to take your business. Did you get the domain? Did you legalize the business? Those are your starting points. Those are just round one layers, right? I've got a video here on YouTube that kind of goes through some of the things that need to happen in the beginning, and then some of the things that a lot of people don't think about that actually needs to happen in order to bring the business to life appropriately, so that you're bring it to life with purpose. Because what'll happen is you'll start the business and then you'll legalize the business and get a website and say, okay, the business is started with no direction of where you're going. You know what I'm saying? With no direction of where you're going. You're just literally starting the business and you're like, I'm going. But here in Staffingpreneurs Academy, we teach you how to have like purpose. One, how to get the conversation started, right? How to automate parts of the business so that you can start establishing relationships, creating digital assets and lead magnets that will help you to create more brand awareness, helping you to define the full structure of your business so that you can have, you'll be able to know how to go out and connect with employers on a totally different level, connect with candidates on a totally different level, how to make the placement, the process. So it's not the setup. It's not just about getting the contracts, getting the website up, getting the business legalized, phone, email, website, stuff like that. That is all of your basics. But like, what's your strategy? How are you getting the door? What conversations are you having beyond your services? In addition to your services, can you sell your services, right? Even when you get to that point, at some point, you've got to be able to sell your services when the time comes, once the relationship is built. But can you do that? Do you know how to start the conversation? Do you know how to manage your business appropriate financially, performance metrics wise? Are you hiring internally appropriately? Do you have the infrastructure set up for you to hire internally appropriately? Are you hiring externally appropriately? Do you have the infrastructure to do that as well, right? What type of sales strategies on day one? What do you do? When you open your doors, what do you do? Who do you call? What is happening in your business, right? What kind of conversations are taking place? How much activity are you doing in your business per day? I can go on and on and on and on. There's so many things that you want to have put into place. You should be running your social media campaigns. You should be talking to people, reaching out to them. Whatever your automation isn't doing, you should be doing. You should be on the phone trying to get appointments on your calendar. I be screaming, oh, that's me. Like really just pouring love into your business. That's what you should be doing when you're starting. That's the start, right? That's what you should be doing. And if you're doing that now and you're like at the end of your setup phase, you've probably already started working at your business. You just haven't done your official pre-launch or your official launch, your official hard launch or your official soft launch. But you're launched. You're working in your business launch. And I think that's where you are, Nita, Dr. Rice. I should say that appropriately. I think you've launched for the most part because you're working in your business every day, but you just haven't launched you haven't done your official soft launch, correct? That's what I think. She might say no. We had to see. Did she leave me?
If I can find a mute button, yes, you're right.
Because y'all working in the business right now.
Yes, we're working in the business.
So you've launched because you can start having conversations with employers and candidates and different things like that. And that's a great thing. So now it's just about what is going to be the date that we do the soft launch, right? And we might push that date back because we still need to get our guests and our whatever that situation may be. But we're in the business now. We're at the point because we ran the campaign.
Correct. And they are responding.
And the site is up. We got to finalize it, but the site is up. So we are live and in living color. So congratulations to that. You're on time for that. Trust and believe. I kind of pushed that forward secretly without y'all knowing. But but now we just focus on what we want the soft launch to look like, right? And preparing for the soft launch and then letting the world know as a whole by the value that we're bringing into the industry. So
we have all that set up and everything. So I believe we have our one-on-one with you tomorrow to discuss those things.
I love that. And Pat, I'm moving you to tomorrow too. I know this is the second week, but I haven't really talked to my team, so I have to do that today. And that
totally
would
cool.
Huh?
That's totally cool.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I appreciate you. Okay, so great. So I love that. What questions do y'all have? I want to make sure. Heather, how you feeling? Yvonne, how you feeling? Brandon, how you feeling? Davita, how you feeling? Alfredo, how you feeling?
How you doing?
Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
I'm all right. Just paying attention. Sorry, I missed the last 5 minutes. I had a call, but I do have a question, and I may be jumping the gun, but I think it is a part of the setup.
Okay. Tell me.
Because I'm still in that part of the modules on the setting up, so I'm not through with that. So I don't know if you covered it or not, but let me know if I'm jumping the gun.
Okay, tell
But
me.
I know even when you spoke last Monday, you were talking about outsourcing like certain parts of the business when like setting up and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you went over factoring companies. Is that something plausible to do with factoring and even EOR companies that kind of help with the back offices and stuff?
Yeah, of
Or
course.
is that too far?
No. That's a part of the setup. And of course you can do that. I would just, before you do choose your EOR, I prefer not an EOR. We've worked with a lot of EORs and we've had bad experiences with every EOR we've ever worked with. Okay. In some way, it always started some way good. And then it turned into them being their employees and them doing it in a very nasty kind of way in some way, right? And so after we had those experiences, I decided for us to focus on working with factoring companies where we are responsible for our own workers' comp. And then they go in and they factor the invoice. And that's just like a smarter way to do business, right?
Okay.
And that way you get all your tax benefits throughout the course of the year. You still get the support, but instead of, because the EOR a lot of times will only fund like a portion of your money, right? Which is just the payrolling part. Whereas if a factoring company funds a portion of your contract amount, the invoice amount, the contract invoice amount. So if the full contract is $1 million, let's just say, for example, but payroll was only 600,000. So, then you would get 90% of the $1 million up front, which gives you money left in the bank to pay your internal staff to help you to continue to grow and for you to get your profit out. And then once the employer pays them back, they take out their 1 to 5%, and then you get the remainder balance back into your account. So you still get that additional. I would, maybe that's your profit, but they also have another little account on the side is in the event that the client doesn't pay. So they'll put money in that account, aside too. Y'all equally decide how much that's going to be. Each company is different, but that's the overall like thought process of how it works. Yeah. And so,
okay, because like I said, I was looking into that, and after you mentioned it, and I was like, oh, that's so. When I did, because I'm all about research, and like I said, I know you preach research too, so I definitely hit the books and started, and that's when I came across EOR, and I said, oh, that seems like to be all inclusive. But that was a question I had because I know they said they hire employees and stuff, but I was like, well, does that mean we don't hire anymore? We don't do interviews? Like they take a big portion of that?
Yeah. So if it's the EOR, the cool thing about the EOR is that they cover your insurance for all 51 states. But those employees are kind of essentially not yours. They are, but they're not. From what I can tell, they're not. They say they are, but from what I can tell, they're not. With the factoring, they're 100% yours. With the EOR, I think they're going through their payroll, right? And but they're saying that we are your employee's employer of record on record. And you see what I'm saying?
Right.
They essentially they become their employees. They're the employees.
Oh, with the EOR.
Right, with the EOR.
Right. Okay.
So
it's pretty much like frowned upon because they move shady.
I wouldn't say frowned upon, but I would say that we've worked with 4 or 5 different EOR companies. I've been doing this online with everybody since 2013, and we've had one discriminated against brown and black people. I didn't know. The Staffingpreneurs told me. We've had actually 2 do that. We have had one steal from the Staffingpreneurs. There are lawsuits that are out there. I think everybody knows about it if you're in any of the groups that are out there. So there's no secret about that. Like definitely we've had experiences with the various EORs, and I just found that it was too many. It was too many. It was too consistent for me. And so in my brain, it was like everybody starts off with the EOR until they generate a certain amount. That's how I used to do my clients. And then they upgrade to a factoring company. And then as they generate more money, they upgrade to holding payroll under their own umbrella, right?
Mhm.
But now I just take the ER out. I just completely don't even, I say it's there because people are going to try to sell you on it. But I try to tell you, like, don't do the EOR. Forget that. Start immediately with the factoring, grow your business. And then over time, you can take your payroll over when your company gets to the size that is able to do that. That's what my suggestion would be.
Okay. And then last follow up on that with the factoring company. I know you said they pay per contract. Was that like contract per the one employee, or is that just like for dealing with that business altogether?
That facility.
Okay. So no matter how many employees I get with that
Exactly.
facility, that, like your example, that $1 million would cover the payroll for,
Yes.
if I had 10 employees, or whatever, would cover that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's the whole entire contract with that facility. So the contract is per facility, per contract, per signed contract. So think about it like that. If you got a signed contract with somebody, no matter however many facilities, whatever you got going on under that contract, whatever that invoice is at the end of the week, that's what you send it over. Okay. And then that they'll pay you 90, I think 90, some of them 80, some of them 70. It just depends on who you're dealing with. Some of them they give you like 70 or 80 because you're brand new. And then once you prove yourself over time, then they give you more. And then also they tell you, like, this contract is funded for $3,000 in payroll a week. Like, because they do the credit check of the facility, right? So they'll tell you this facility is worth $280,000 in payroll a week. And you want to be very mindful to that, because sometimes those funding companies know who's paying and who's not. And so they're trying to protect you, because a lot of these companies, especially, I don't know what your niche is. Your niche healthcare?
Yes. Well, it will be.
Yes. Are you doing LTAC?
I'm sorry?
Are you doing LTAC?
No.
Oh, who are you doing? Are you doing long-term care facilities?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Are you doing long-term care facilities?
Yes.
Okay, that's LTAC. And so they have a habit of not paying staffing agencies. So they have no problem with getting your staff. They ran up a lot of bills during COVID, post-COVID, especially post-COVID. They ran up a lot of people's bills and just kept going the next one, and never paid them millions of dollars. So they are very much so known for that. So you have to be very careful. Make sure your funding company checks their credit, and whatever they come back as, you want to kind of honor that to make sure that you get paid.
Okay.
Was there any more questions?
No, thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions? The lines are open. Any other questions? Hey, thank you. You're dope. Kudos to you being such a boss and making such a life-changing impact. Thank you so much for that love. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Anybody in my class? Everybody's okay? Are we good until next week? Heather, you want to say something?
I just unmuted myself. I just wanted to say hello, and I'm back in the startup class again from the running, but I just wanted to come and get a refresher. So hello.
Hey, girl.
I just want to say hi.
Hey, I appreciate that. I hope everything is well. Everything's going well with you?
Well, it's kind of like I'm kind of starting over. I was thinking about changing my name so it'll be broader, because I have healthcare in my name, but I think I'm just going to stick with it. And, I haven't really been making the calls that I need, like the number of calls and just things of that nature. I haven't really been putting the love that I need to be putting into my business. So it's kind of like I'm starting over. When you hit rock bottom, you just gotta. I've hit rock bottom, so I'm trying to get back into my business, and so I'm gonna do like another relaunch. I mean, not really, but in my mind, So.
I love that. I love that you're not giving up. So that's very important. I love that you taking accountability. You're not making enough calls. I love that you're going back to home base so that you can go back and fill in the blanks and do things bigger, better this time. It's going to be bigger, better. It's going to go off this time. You're going to catch everything you need to catch. You're going to make all the calls you're supposed to make. You're going to send all the emails you're supposed to send. You're going to win in this business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No question
Yes,
about that. This
see?
is the one. This is the round. So you
This
just
is it.
stay focused. Stay focused because,
Yeah.
like you say, when you hit rock bottom, and y'all know I experienced that recently, and I'm still itching my way out. Okay, I'm not flying. I'm itching my way out. But when you hit rock bottom, you can't go nowhere else. You can't go no further down. The only thing you can do is start going out, and the fact that you came back is you looking up saying, okay, I'm at the bottom, but I can see that light. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're about to go after that light and you're going to do a great job. I believe in you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're awesome. You got this. All right, awesome. Everybody else is good. Can we close out? Or y'all need me more? Everybody is good? Okay, so we're going to close out for this week. I want to remind y'all that we have Run It class today and we have launch class. So anybody who's launching in your business, if y'all don't show up within 15 minutes of that launch class, I'm shutting it down. Don't text me at 1:30 talking about you was running late, okay? Okay, so I'm opening up the launch class. If you're launching your staffing business and you need support in that area, then you can come to the launch class today. We are live, okay? The Run It class is at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then I think the launch class is at 4. Right, at 4 p.m. Eastern for 1 hour. I meet with my team shortly after to catch up on things. I did not turn on my Slack, my phone, or anything yesterday other than to post some of my testimonials so that I can woosah. My brain over the past 2 weeks have been jam-packed with information and pouring it out into everyone. I was so depleted. And I'm still depleted a lot. I really wrestled with taking a vacation week, right? To kind of get myself back up and going. But I've got so many staffingpreneurs that are launching in the month of August. I think I'm going to wait until after the workshop in DC to take my vacation. So I want to say anybody who is going to the DC workshop, get your tickets now. Go to Staffingpreneurs Academy live events and get your tickets. Okay, get your tickets. You've got less than 2 weeks to get your tickets. If you don't get your tickets within the next 2 weeks, we're not going to do it, at least not in person. Maybe I'll go ahead and still do it online, but we won't do it in person for that. And I'll do it online for the 2 people who purchase. But if anybody wants to go and get that hands-on experience, I've been posting a testimonial so you can see what you get. I would encourage you to buy your ticket for the DC location. Now, if I open it up for Dallas again, those tickets will sell out immediately. Those tickets will sell out immediately. Dallas was fire. And I was surprised we didn't have more people in LA, but Texas is on it right now. I love it. I would love to go to Florida. Our Orlando boot camp is always freaking amazing. The last time we did, Miss Elsa, she came into boot camp. She was the last person in the boot camp. And me and her worked on the technology and her automation very, very late into the evening. And 3 months later, she made $1 million in the business. Like, and she was the one who was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, D. I'm too old and all of this stuff. And she went out there and killed it. And so, those workshops, they are life-changing. They are life-changing. They are life-changing. They are life-changing. And so I want y'all to go and get your tickets on staffingpreneursacademy.com. Okay, I'm gone. I'm leaving y'all for now. I just want to let y'all know, Run It class 2:00, launch class 4:00. I'm here to support y'all as much as y'all need. Have a great day and y'all be amazing. Bye. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, awesome. All right, I'm hanging up. I appreciate y'all. I got a client, one of my clients, she's mad at me. I got to go and let her know not to be mad at me. I think it was a misunderstanding this morning. So I got to go and fix things with my client. But I appreciate y'all coming on board, coming on live with me. and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy my Monday classes, and I hope that this class was helpful for you. If you are not a part of Staffingpreneurs Academy, I really, 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 really think you should be. I think you should. I'm going to put it across the screen at the bottom. You should go and join staffingpreneursacademy.com, schedule an appointment with one of our reps. We would love to talk to you about your dream and help you bring your staffing business to life. If you need one-on-one with D, this is the last year I'm doing one-on-ones around Staffingpreneurs Academy. And I think I said I was going to stop them in July, but maybe in August. Feel free to schedule an appointment because we definitely want to support you. And listen, if you're just looking for a coach, somebody who can really help you take your ideas from like all over the place to a structured system and where you can, go ahead and get it out. Like, I would love to support you. We're here every week to help you start your staffing business. I really, 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 really appreciate you joining me. And I'll see y'all soon in the next video. Bye. Like this video. Like this video. Like it. Like it. Like it. Like it.